Good morning, my friend. How you doing? It's Dean here, of course. Welcome to today's episode of The Drive. Let's get into this.
The Drive.
Hey, what is happening? Dean here, on the way to Internet Profits HQ, but no hands, because we're actually sat at a railway crossing, like a train crossing. So I just thought, it's a little earlier in my journey than I would normally start the drive, but I'm sat here and there goes one train, maybe there'll be another. And I thought, what the heck, let's get into this week, let's start it. So I hope you had a good weekend. And as I always say, every single week on a Monday, but more importantly, I hope you're ready for a big week ahead. Hope you're planning on experiencing significant progress in your business, because at the end of the day, this is our life. And if you're sitting still, well, you might as well just be going backwards, because you have to be moving forward. You can't afford to waste any time. And I wanted to share something this morning that just basically happened. So I have a small select number of people that I consult with. And I rarely talk about this, to be honest, because it is literally just something that I do only with a very small number of people that I am very, very selective over, quite simply because for me, when it comes down to consulting style work, it can involve a lot of time, and it involves a lot of emotional commitment. At least, I fully give my everything, and I have these people on my brain even when I'm not speaking with them, because I'm always thinking about their best interests and what they're doing and what results they've got and how that could be improved. And so I'm really selective, because the nature of how I've got my business set up now is that, I really don't have to do that type of thing. We have a very successful coaching side of the business, and I have a team of people that assist me in those areas. And so, for me, I'm very, very careful with who I take on, and it's a significant investment for them as well. Anywhere typically $30,000 to $50,000 to work with me on that kind of thing. And this morning, one of my newer sort of consulting clients contacted me on Voxer. Well, I woke up to a message from them on Voxer, because one of the areas I've been helping them with is developing their own back-end program, and really we're taking that forwards to multiple back-end programs and building an automated sales and marketing system that leads people into those programs. And well, after we've probably been, maybe we're at like 30 days or so, maybe 1 week, no, maybe it's like 5 weeks or so, give or take. And we basically got to this stage working on creating their program, which is now, I would say, 80 to 90% done. It's not perfect, but this is what I'm coming to in a moment. So they've got that program created now that they didn't have. They also have, I've worked with them to create the webinar that sells that program. Okay, this is a $1,000 product initially. That's their first product, $1,000. Then we've got a $5,000 one we're going to turn our attention to soon, once we've got this process right. And yesterday, Sunday, was their first actual go, their first attempt, their first test at actually running the webinar, to B, sell their new program. And we decided for this first run, they would actually only promote it to 2 different audiences they have. One is an audience of only about 50 or 60 people that are in a monthly membership of theirs. So they promoted the webinar, so they did one webinar just to those people, had about 20 people show up, and they made 1 sale, so currently a 5% conversion. Then they did the webinar again later in the day yesterday to another group of people, and they had, I think, about 60 people turn up, and they did 3 sales. So all in all, 80 people on their webinar, 4 sales. So first run out the gate, 5% conversion. Not bad at all, okay? Now, I'm not here to talk about their webinar or anything like that, but what I want to refer to specifically is one thing that he said to me, the client said to me on their Voxer message this morning reporting these results, and that was this. they said, one of the biggest things that I've taken from you so far, Dean, whilst working together, is not to get things perfect and not to try and get everything done and completed and absolutely perfect, all the I's dotted, all the T's crossed before actually getting something out there. Is to get it good enough where it's great value and delivers everything promised, and get it out there and start testing. And I thought I'd share that with you today, because this is actually a lesson that has been earned through hard work and trial and error, and also mentorship for me over the last 10 years, because I used to not want to put a product out, not want to launch a website, not want to do any project publicly unless it was absolutely perfect. And you know what ends up happening? You can never get anything perfect, because there's always something else. And that's what I've learned over the years. There will always be something else to do. There will always be another way to improve what you have. And you should, right? You should always look to continually keep your stuff current, your stuff fresh, your stuff the best it can be. But where that differs is when you first need to get it out. There's something called an MVP, a minimum viable product. A lot of times people use that expression in software or services. You launch your minimum viable product. What does that look like? And this is one of the big, I actually said to this client this morning in my response, I said, I know ultimately it's about returning on your investment, meaning you invested tens of thousands of dollars, you want to get that back in your bank account as soon as possible, and then use what the knowledge and skills that I've imparted and shared with you to go on to make 10x, 100x over years of what you've invested with me. I said, but if all you got from this experience was this change in approach of not getting everything perfect before getting it out, and that stuck with you for the life of you and your business, I said you will have more than got your investment back many, many times over. And you know, that's how important I believe that lesson really is. And so I want to impart that on you today. I want you to go into this week with that new approach of saying, well, look, it's not perfect. I could better this. I could make it better. I could feel more confident in this if I improved it and did it again and again and again. But this is my minimum viable product. It's good enough to launch. It does everything that I say it's going to do. And I'm going to get it out there and start getting results. Because I said something to this guy, to these clients the other week. I said, what would you rather? I said, would you rather have the perfect product and no more money in your bank account for the next another 30 days, or do you want $5,000 to $10,000 in your bank account and then improve the product going forwards? And they said, well, we'd rather put the money in the bank account. I said, well, okay, great. Let's get it out there then. Let's do this. And there's what I want to share with you today. So hope you had a good weekend, as I say. Here's to a great week ahead. This is Dean, another day, another drive. Welcome back to the week. I will, of course, talk to you tomorrow. So until then, take care. Bye-bye for now.